Okay, my dear children, today we are going to start with lesson number 11, If I Were You. So, this is the last chapter of your book, Beehive. This lesson is a play. This is a play. Play means a drama. This means a drama. Therefore, today we are going to start with a particular drama, and in this drama, we are going to learn a very interesting plot or a storyline. Before going to that, so it is better that we know some of the words that come into the story. Therefore, let us go to the story, go to the word first, and these are the words that will come across in this particular lesson. So let us see. So your question here, you see, the following words and phrases occur in the play. Do you know their meanings? Match them with the meaning given to find out. That means, my dear children, the words are given in this column number A, and in the column number B, the meaning is given. You are to find out the meaning. You are to find out the meaning or the synonymous words or expression from column B. So let us see. So it is a very interesting to find out the meaning. So let us go for the meaning. So now here you see, first one is cultured. So let us see cultured. So cultured is an adjective. Adjective means a person who is very much refined. Who is very much refined. Now let us go for the searching. So let us see where it is. So you see, so when you are writing the exercise, particularly you are doing the homework, so you can make this boxes like this. You can put the number also, say for example this 1, 2, 3. So in this you can 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So these are the words. So you can find out the meaning. Now say for example we are talking about the word cultured. Culture means refined. So you will be finding out this word. I will be giving some clue only. A person is called cultured when the person is very much refined. A person who is very high in his behavior, in his manner, in his way of talking. Therefore, the option, this one, sophisticated, well-mannered, is correct. Now see, this is the phrasal verb. This is called the phrasal verb. Verb with the preposition. Word followed by preposition is called the phrasal verb. When it comes to the meaning actually varies. Count one means depending. Count one means depending. Therefore, where is this depend, sense of the depend is there. You see the sense of the depend here. You try to find the word here where it is. Sense of depend, avoid, excess, depend on. So this one is the meaning here. So in this way, my dear children, so you will be writing, you will be finding out the meaning, So Sunday school teacher, a person who is a very honest and straightforward, is called Sunday school teacher. So you will find out. So this again, there is a lucky break. This lucky break means an unexpected opportunity for success. Dodging means avoiding. Gratuitous means a particular situation in which you simply want to avoid a particular situation that is very unnecessary and quite harmful. So again there is the tradespeople means the merchant or the person who are engaged in commerce. A dandy means fashionable. Wise guy. See, wise guy, everybody knows it. But what is the meaning here? That you will have to understand. So it is used in order to express a person who is wise, or a person who pretends to know a lot. Inflection is a way of you are speaking, then you can find out to be smart, to be smart. Let us see what the meaning of to be smart is there. To be smart means, so it is an informal way of saying that one is being too clever. Then again melodramatic. Melodramatic means very much sensational, means overstated or exaggerated. Then again engaged. Engaged. So engaged means occupy or busy. So these are the words, my dear children. So you can go for this and you can learn this. Moreover, my dear children, so when the lesson will be over, so this is a very interesting drama or the play in this particular book Beehive. Almost all type of the stories are included, and this story, particularly the drama, add to the variety of the lesson. So after completion of the chapter, so it is a very good idea to go for the language item and the grammar items that are used there in the book. Okay, then you will get to know a lot of things, and it is better that you make a lot of practice on it too. So my dear children, so let us continue now. So we will be continuing. So first let us see the drama, and therefore this drama, you see the setting of this drama. So let us see a small cottage interior. There is an entrance back right, may be curtained. At the back there may be an entrance or a door, and that may be curtained. Another door to the left must be practical door. That is also another door. The door is on the left, and that is also is in use. The furniture is simple, consisting of small table towards the left, a chair, two, and a divan rather upstairs on the right. On the table is a telephone. So this is the particular scenario. This is the particular setting or the background in which the play or the drama starts. When the curtain rises, Gerrard is standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and wearing horn-rimmed glasses. He is dressed in a long suit and a great coat. His voice is cultured. So in the beginning itself, so in the parenthesis or in the bracket itself, so you are introduced to the particular hero. Okay, he is a very impressive character, very much impressive. So after hearing about Gerrard, so when you are watching the movie, particularly the Hindu movies, then when you see the hero, everybody wants to be in the position of the hero or the heroine. Here, the hero is Gerrard. So he is a playwright or a dramatist, and he was introduced to us, and he is a person. He is a very much cultured person. He was very much cultured. So that the educated people, the voice of the educated people is very much refined, very much cultured, or very much sophisticated. And from their voice and way of talking, so you can understand that the person is educated and refined or cultured. So our Gerrard is also so. You also want to be in the position of Gerrard, because the way he managed the particular situation, the way he controlled the life-threatening situation, you also become very much impressive. You ask the question to yourself, had I been in the position of Gerrard, it would have been far better. So you wanted to emulate the example of Gerrard just after knowing about his character, personality, and more particularly his knowledge, calm, composure. All this quality actually are very much impressive quality. Therefore, so let us see now. So first we are introduced to the particular scenery in which the play starts, and again we are introduced to the main character, the hero, that is Gerrard. Well, tell him to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect I will still be here, but you mustn't count on that. in about 10 minutes time. Right. Oh, goodbye. Now see. So this is the talking, and he actually phones up somebody. So he is a very busy person, it appears. So he is telling in a very sophisticated way, he is telling that you may not count. You may not count on that. I must know. Yes, I expect I'll still be here, but you mustn't count on that. That means this person is expected to be here for some time, but you need not depend on that solely or mainly, because he is a very busy person. At any moment he may go out, or he may be out of the station. Therefore, in about 10 minutes time, right, oh, goodbye. So he's talking about some 10 minutes time. So what is it that will come to know? He puts down the phone and goes to the divan on the left, where there is a traveling bag, and starts packing. Now see, Gerrard, the playwright or the dramatist. So that the person who writes the play is called the playwright. PLAWRIGHT, playwright. ठीक है? जो आदमी मतलब प्ले लिखते हैं और ड्रामा लिखते हैं उसको मतलब प्लेरिट बोला जाता है. और प्लेरिट मतलब क्या है? दे आर इंटेलेक्चुअल्स और दे आर वेरी हाईली इंटेलिजेंट पीपल. So and more particularly very busy person. So what he did, he after phoning up, so he was packing his bag, because it appeared that he is going on a tour or a journey. Whilst he is thus engaged, another man similar in build of Gerrard entered from the right silently. Sit down. So what is the kind of the atmosphere? What is the kind of atmosphere? I am simply writing ATM, atmosphere. So another person of similar in build, means in size or in the shape, similar to Gerrard, he enters from the back without giving any signal, or without calling him. Okay, simply he come without permission to. So now you feel that something is very fishy. You become very much doubtful. दाल में तो कुछ काला है ना? हाँ, आपका अंदाजा एकदम सही है. रिवॉल्वर रिसेंट, माय गुडनेस, इनका हाथ में रिवॉल्वर भी है. तो रिवॉल्वर लेके जब एक आदमी आपका घर में घुस आएंगे, कोई सिग्नल भी नहीं देंगे, परमिशन भी नहीं लेंगे, सो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? उसको बोलते हैं इंट्रूडर. INTRUDER, intruder. The person who intrudes or enters the house of anybody without permission is called the intruder. Therefore, we see that there is one intruder. He is of the similar build or similar size of the playwright. He enters the house very silently or very stealthily, and there was a revolver in his hand. He is flashily dressed in an overcoat and soft hat. Now, some description about the person also is given. So he is dressed in a fashionable manner, in a fashionable or gaudy style, means a showy style. Okay, in a showy style, his style is a little showy. He bumps accidentally against the table. Bumping means what? He bumps means collide, means what? Hit. Unexpectedly he hits against the table, and at the sound of that, है ना, कोई आदमी आपका घर में घुस आया, उसके बाद वो क्या किया? So he hit or collide against the table, and then maybe you were very much busy or engrossed in packing, or you were busy or occupied in your thought, and at that time the person come, then what will be your condition? So you will be startled. STARTL. Startled means what? Greatly surprised, है ना? क्या होंगे? Surprised होंगे, बहुत ज्यादा surprised होंगे. So that is the condition now. So after being surprised, more particular when he will see the person who is similar into the build, and more particularly revolver in his hand. Okay, he doesn't mean something very good with the revolver. Therefore, so to manage or control this particular situation is very much challenging. Therefore, now in our life also, this sort of challenging atmosphere, we always encounter. And now the question arises, the person who can control, who can master this challenging situation is the hero. Is a successful person. And if the person cannot, he become a failure. He become a failure. Therefore, you want to be a failure? No. You want to be successful? Yes. Therefore, we also need to understand, we also need to know how to tackle, how to control the situation which are very much challenging. And in order to know this challenging situation, let us go to the analysis of this play, and you are expected that you will go through the lesson, you will go through line by line through this lesson, and then you will understand better. You will understand better. So before that, let me tell you, my dear children, one very much a very interesting aspect is that in this lesson, in this particular drama, there is a use of the irony. The use of the irony. Irony means what? Suppose in a particular situation, a friend of you acted very foolishly, and you are telling, oh wise, so brilliant. That means you mean actually something opposite. That is called irony. What you tell and what you mean, if it is just the opposite, then it is called irony. And this particular lesson is full of irony, So when our Gerrard will be telling, at last, a very sympathetic audience, he doesn't mean to that. This particular intruder is a sympathetic audience. He just meant the opposite. So in this way, my dear children, you will come to understand that. So the writer, who is very much intellectually gifted person, so he manages the situation in a very beautiful manner, with his humor, with his intelligence, with his wit or practical wisdom, and more particularly his managerial capacity. Therefore, let us go for it. So first we'll be going for some of the lines from the play. So let us see. Gerrard, pleasantly. Why, this is a surprise, Mr. So little nervous, you see, little nervous. But he's appearing, he's very much pleasant. Why, this is a surprise. Okay. So ऐसा लगा कि so the intruder, the unknown person who entered the house of Gerrard is a very known person. और उनको मतलब ऐसे बोला कि अरे यार आपने तो एकदम मतलब बहुत बड़ा सरप्राइज हमको दे दिया. ऐसा क्यों है? Then you see the intruder. What does the intruder tell? I'm glad you are pleased to see me. तो intruder ने बोला कि हमको ये बहुत मजा आया कि आपने हमको देख के खुश हो गया. I do not think you will be pleased for long. Put those paws up. तो intruder ने अभी बोला, so क्या बोला कि so हमको ये बात हमको ये जान के बहुत खुश हुआ कि you are very pleased, you are very happy to see me. लेकिन ऐसा है कि आप ज्यादातर खुश नहीं होंगे. मीन्स आप ज्यादा मतलब खुश नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि मतलब हम आपको क्या करेंगे, डर. So ऐसा बोल के वो क्या बोला, put those paws up. Paws means what? Hands. Okay, hands up means something very much alarming. Okay, hands up, Gerrard. This whole melodramatic, not very original perhaps, but this is very melodramatic. So ये melodrama जो है ना, ये जो हम जो बात मतलब जितना बात सुनेंगे, गैरार्ड का जितना बात सुनेंगे वो बात से हमको पता चलेगा कि ही इज ए राइटर, ही इज ए ड्रामेटिस्ट. और ये जो वर्ड है ये ड्रामा का वर्ड है. melodramatic means very much sensational, okay, full of emotion, that is a melodrama, है ना. And more particularly when this there is a full of pathos, sorrows, okay, the stage is completely filled with a dead body, that is melodramatic. So he is telling that, oh ये तो ये बहुत मैंने melodramatic हो गया, ये exaggerated हो गया, okay, it is overstated, it is very much sensational or emotional, ये तो original लगता नहीं है. तब इंट्रूडर ने क्या बोला, trying to be calm and calmer. तो इंट्रूडर ने बोला कि आप कंपोज होना चाह रहे हैं, है ना. कंपोज मतलब शांत होना चाह रहे हैं. So do you want to be very much composed, or do you want to display that you are very much calm and cool, you are not at all nervous just after seeing me? क्या ऐसा है? Then nonchalant is your word, I think. That means ये जो डैश है, डैश में कुछ वर्ड मतलब ढूंढ रहे थे इंट्रूडर ने. हाँ, are you trying to be calm and nonchalant? So ये ड्रामेटिक्स ने बोल दिया कि मतलब हाँ, ये आप मतलब ये वर्ड ढूंढ रहे हैं ना. हाँ, वर्ड तो nonchalant है. nonchalant का मतलब है कि so trying to be careless, not showing any anxiety, not showing any anxiety. XIET. Okay, not showing any anxiety, not showing any anxiety, है ना. nonchalant means careless. Intruder, thanks a lot. You will soon stop being smart. I will make you crawl. I want you to know a few things, you see. Therefore, the intruder is telling that, yes, so you are trying to be smart. You are helping me to find out the words. Okay, you are showing your intelligence and smartness. But the thing is done. So I will make you crawl like the insect. And you'll be walking on your feet. And I want you to know. So what is the purpose of my coming? My purpose of coming is to know some of the things, some of the very crucial or the vital things. And the other thing, particularly related to you. Why? Because I want to be like you. Why? Because I am pursued. By whom? By the police. Why? Because I killed the police or the court. Okay. So this is in brief, my dear children, is the start, and in this way we can get the flavor of the drama. Now let us go to the analysis of the drama. So here you go. Let us continue with your English teacher K. Jalal. Okay, my dear children, so let us go for the analysis of this lesson. So it is hoped that so you will be going through the full text. Okay, you will go to the discussion and the dialogue between the intruder and Gerrard in order to get the original flavor, and for that some of the uncommon words that are used here I will also introduce. I will also tell the meaning. So just go on learning. Let us continue. So first let us start with the writer. So the name of the writer is Douglas James. So as you know, writing the writer of the particular lesson helps us in understanding the content and the motive of the lesson. Now you are in class 10, therefore you are not only learning the literal meaning or the direct meaning. Many times you will have to know what is the ironical meaning, what is the sarcasm, what is symbolic or representative meaning. All this thing, my dear children, you will have to start learning now. So here you go. Let's continue. So Douglas James was born in the year 1888. He was born in the year 1888, was a British colonial administrator holding the post of governor of North Borneo, Sierra Leone, and the Leeward Island during his career. So let us see here. So he was born in the year 1888. So the date was 13th October, and he died in the year 1946. 1946, just before the independence of India, and the date was 11th December. His education was in the Westminster School, very famous, and Trinity College, London. His nationality was British. Now let us go to the next. Shall we continue? Let us go. Now let us see the introduction of the lesson. So we have already seen the introduction from the main text, and it will be helpful now when you go through it now here. If I Were You is a short play written by American playwright and novelist Douglas James. So my dear children, before proceeding further, let me explain you about the title. Okay, title. So there is a separate description of this title also. Just let me give you some hint so that you understand it. If I were you, ये जो है ना, I के साथ मतलब क्या होगा? I के साथ तो नॉर्मली क्या होता है? I was a good runner. So ये I मतलब I किसके साथ मतलब एग्री होता है? was के साथ होता है. लेकिन मतलब I मतलब आप अगर मतलब if you are using where, I is singular, was is also singular, this is all right. Singular will be taking the singular verb, all right. Now when I is taking where, the plural be verb in the past form, this actually states about what? The imaginary and more particularly improbable condition. मतलब ऐसा कंडीशन है जो मतलब वास्तव में नहीं हो सकता है, Therefore, if I were you, मतलब अगर हम आप होते, मतलब ऐसा एक कंडीशन है, you are imagining something very much extraordinary or something improbable or something unrealistic imagination. अगर आपके प्लेस में हम होते तब क्या होता? So these are the kind of the wild kind of imagination. तो अभी इधर हम देखते हैं, तो ये हो गया हमारा explanation about the title. After that, let us go for. So this is a short play, means this is a short drama. Play means what? Play means the drama by the American playwright and the novelist. So he was the writer Douglas James, who was a playwright, means a dramatist, was also a novelist, means also he wrote novels and dramas, and he belonged to America. In this short play, James maintained the suspense till the end, and the level of curiosity and the interest is never broken. Okay. So ये जो story है, this story is full of suspense, like the detective story, है ना? Detective आप जानते हैं ना? ये detective जो होता है, detective story जो होता है, इसमें भी मतलब क्या होता है? इसमें भी detectives yarn, और detective मतलब क्या होता है? thread मतलब सूता. Detective fiver है इसमें, क्योंकि मतलब there is a suspense, and the suspense is continued, and the curiosity of the reader is sustained throughout the play. Douglas James brings out the criminal mentality of the intruder, and also Gerrard's intelligence dealings with the situation. Now see, my dear children, so in life there will be very critical situation in Okay, in many of the situations, the situation will be so tricky, tricky. Okay, so tricky, so subtle, 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 means it is hardly possible to do tackle or control or to manage. But you will have to manage it. If you cannot, then you become a failure. But nobody wants to be a failure. Therefore, what you will have to do, you will have to open the door of your intellect, and then you will have to manage with cool and composed mind. So let us go. A hidden message in the play is that maintains one's presence of mind, help in adverse situation. This play is charming. This play is charming in its effect. So, what is the dormant or the hidden message in this play is that what one is expected to do, one is expected to have the presence of mind, and the presence of mind and the cool composure helps in order to tackle the challenging situation too. Let us continue. Here we go. The play is the story of an intruder. He breaks into the lonely house. A man named Gerrard lives there. He is a parrot. So you have already seen. So the main character or the hero is Gerrard. He lives in a lonely house, and the name of the particular wild or the jungle is Essex. He lives in the wild of Essex, and he lives very lonely. And when a particular person is living in a lonely place, surrounded by nobody, so that the atmosphere will be the atmosphere of the mystery. कुछ तो मतलब है because of that he is living in a very lonely, isolated or alienated place. Let us see. The intruder is a criminal. He has killed a policeman and is now on the run. Now see. So we are introduced to the intruder. He is a criminal. He has already killed the policeman, and the policeman is now searching for him, and now he is doing what? He is simply dodging. He is simply running and avoiding the police. So this man has some physical resemblance to Gerrard. Now see, हम अंदर का बात करते हैं. So one day what happened? This intruder was one intruder actually observed Gerrard talking, and he saw that this man is similar in appearance with me, and therefore I can impersonate. Impersonate means I can take the personality of this man. I can disguise myself. Disguise myself as a Gerrard. And after that I will be safe, because everybody will think that I am Gerrard, the writer. He is a very respectable person, and particularly he will be safe from the police. But Gerrard is smarter than the criminal. So my dear children, you see, this is a battle of wit, है ना? ये लड़ाई मतलब किसका है? Wit का है. Wit का मतलब क्या है? Wit is the intellect, है ना? Wit is the intellect. So ये intellect का लड़ाई है, ये wisdom का लड़ाई है, और ये लड़ाई में मतलब किसका मतलब हार होता है? Intruder का हार होता है. क्योंकि the writer Gerrard is more smarter than the criminal. He tells the intruder that he has also killed someone, and the policemen are after him. Now see, this is the presence of mind. With the presence of mind, what he tells that he has also killed someone, and the policeman is after him. Therefore it is not a good idea to kill me. Therefore, if you kill me, then if you are saved from killing the police person, yet you will be again imprisoned as the murderer of me. He offers to take the intruder in his car to safety. He opens the door and tells the intruder that it goes to the garage. Now see, so this is the kind of the intellect he had, the presence of mind he used, and with that what he said at the particular moment, finally what he did, he said that, you see, so I expected that there will be some trouble, and the police is, of course, is running after me, and therefore it is a voice that will be going to the car, and the car actually, the car, in order to go to the car, you will have to go to this particular box. Through this box there is a gate, and from the gate you can go directly to the car, so that we can avoid the police and we can escape from here. But what happened when he went to the box? Then he was pushed inside it, and then he was locked, and a constable was called in order to nab him, in order to catch him. So in this way he managed the situation. He offers to take the intruder in his car to the city. He opens the door and tells the intruder that it goes to the garage. As soon as the intruder enters, Gerrard locks the door. In fact, it is not the way to the garage, but the door of the cupboard. So he told that this door actually leads to the garage, and after going to the garage, we can board on, or we can board on or go to the car, or we can be on the car and then run away. But actually, this particular door was a way to the cupboard. So it was the door of the cupboard. Then he forced the policeman to come and arrest the intruder. So let us see now. If I Were You by Douglas is an interesting play that has mystery, suspense, surprise, and humor. So in this lesson, we can get the flavor of all this. There is suspense, there is mystery, there is surprise, and also there is a humor. Means kind of a kind of situation in which he began to laugh. It is a story in which the intruder intended to kill Gerrard and impersonate him to escape the law, but the tables are turned on him as he is trapped due to the Gerrard's presence of mind. So finally क्या हुआ? So in the particular trap that was set by the intruder, he was entrapped, and because of the presence of mind of Gerrard, he was trapped, and the table was turned against him. Means the situation become against him, become unfavorable for him. The play just brings out the intellect and the presence of mind that can help us to come out of the trickiest of the situation. ये देखिए बहुत important है. In this way, we come to understand that the play tells us about the intelligence and the presence of mind that can help us to overcome or come out of the trickiest of the situations. Now let us see the next. So let us see the setting. So when you understand the setting, it will be quite easier for us to understand. So my dear children, so many times I used to tell you about the setting. Setting is a particular place, particular place in which the lesson start. It may include the time also. तो अभी देखते हैं ये जो setting है, setting तो पहले हम discuss किया. The setting of the play, the room, the quarters of the playwright, Vincent Charles Gerrard. Full name of the dramatist of the playwright is Vincent Charles Gerrard. In the wild of Essex. So this is the wild means jungle. So this Essex is the particular place or the locality, and in this wild or the jungle of Essex, he was living there. The dotage is isolated and quite suitable as a writing written for a playwright who is something of a Mr. Man, as he is not very social and never meets the tradesman. So you may ask the question, my dear children. So many a time we see that the writer, the poet, they live in a lonely place, just by the side of the sea or the river too. And here we find he is living in the wild of Essex. So why? Because he wanted to live there in the isolation, so that it helps him in writing. And more particularly, he was not also sociable, sociable, and he never meets the common people too. It is quite suitable as a hideout for the criminal on the run. Therefore, this particular place is also suitable for those criminals who are on the run, who are searched by the police, who are SEARC, searched by the police. So this place also is suitable. तो अभी देखते हैं हम, ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है माय डियर चिल्ड्रन. तो ये मैसेज मतलब जानना, हर लेसन का आप जो नोट पर लिखेंगे, सो यू विल हैव टू राइट दिस थीम. ओके, this theme is very important. Let us go for it. The theme of the play emphasizes the significance of the intelligence, the presence of mind, and the cool head in situations of crisis. Panic complicates matter, but cool temperament can help on wriggle out of the tight corners with ease. So when you are in panic, when you are in fear, when you are suffering from the anxiety, then the matter will be more complicated. But when you are so cool and composed, that will be helping you to come out of the difficult situation. Criminals who masterminded the most deceitful crime can also be outwitted because they have a fear of getting detected and caught by the law. So this lesson actually tells that you can be saved from the deceitful criminal also, just by what? That by using your practical knowledge and presence of mind, because the criminals are always very much afraid of getting detected by the police or the CBI or CID, and they are always under the run. They are always under the defense. They will not try to attack, but they will try to defend themselves. When you can manage the situation, hence the tactile planning and handling of the situation can trap even the so-called smart criminal also. Therefore, when the criminal is smart also, when the criminal is very intelligent also, that also you can manage. That also you can manage by tactful planning and handling of the situation with a cool and composure and not being excited. Therefore, let us continue. So, we have already discussed the title. If I Were You is a very appropriate title. It refers to the wishful thinking of the intruder who wants to assume Gerrard's identity in order to escape the law. His idea of eluding the police by living under the borrowed identity remains unfulfilled as he is trapped by Gerrard and outwitted before he assumes his life. Now see, इस बार है ना, हम इसको एक बार देख लेते हैं. Elude means what? Eluding means here avoid. A-V-O-I-D. His idea of eluding the policeman means he was trying to avoid what? The policeman, because the policemen were searching for him, and he wanted to live in the borrowed identity of Mr. Gerrard, Vincent Charles Gerrard. But this wish remained wish. It was unfulfilled because he was trapped by Gerrard. In the battle of the wit, he was outwitted and he was nabbed, or he was captured. He was seized by the police. He is deemed to be impersonate Gerrard. Is quashed means repealed, cancelled, nullified. And if I Were You looms forever with no hope of becoming a concrete reality. The title therefore hint at the basic idea of the story that is therefore very apt. Therefore, this title talks about the basic idea developed in the story, and therefore this is very apt or appropriate. A-P-R-O-P-R-I-A-T-E, appropriate. Now let us see the summary. So we'll be going to the summary. After summary, we'll be coming to the character analysis, character. So let us go to the summary now. Very interesting, my dear children. So here we go. Let us go for the summary. So it is page number 138. Page number 138 into the main story 138. The play starts into the house of Gerrard. He is a playwright. We find that Gerrard is talking to someone on the other telephone. He's going somewhere. So after the talk is over, he starts packing a traveling bag. Suddenly, a man enters silently from the right. He is similar to Gerrard in appearance or in build. B-U-I-L-D, build. He has a revolver in his hand. This intruder is a criminal. He orders Gerrard to put up his hands. Gerrard obeys him, but he is not afraid. Gerrard is not at all afraid. He talks pleasantly to the intruder. The intruder wants to stop being smart and answer his question. Gerrard says he cannot feel comfortable while his hands are up. The intruder asks him to sit in a chair. So in this way you will see. So when he was asked to put up the hands, then he said in a very pleasant, in a very intelligent manner that when my hands are up, then how can I answer the question? Because I am not comfortable. You are comfortable, of course, okay, but I am not. Therefore, I may be allowed to sit into the chair. Therefore, in this way, he managed the first scene of this critical scenario. Let us see. Let us continue. From their conversation, we come to know about the intruder and also Gerrard. From their conversation, we come to know about the intruder and also Gerrard. We come to know that Gerrard's full name is Vincent Charles Gerrard. He lives there alone. He has a car also. He's a short Mr. Man. Sometimes he's here and the very next day he's nowhere to be seen. He gives his order on phone and never meets tradesman. So my dear children, when you are asked to give the characterization of Gerrard, then you can tell. So first you will be telling about what? The physical appearance. Okay? Physical appearance. And after that, what will be telling? You will be telling about his inner qualities. So you can give this characterization in this manner. Here also we will get to know about Gerrard. So what sort of man he was? He was a kind of Mr. Man. He was short in height. He was living in the world of Essex, and he was like a Mr. Man, and he was always moving. Sometimes he will be here and sometimes he will be vanished. He cannot be seen anywhere. Let us go next. Now this is the time of the intruder. Then the intruder tells Gerrard about himself. He is a criminal. He is specialist in jewel robbery. He has killed a policeman. Now that the police are after him. He come to know that there is resemblance between him and Gerrard. Then he tells his plan to Gerrard. He has decided to kill Gerrard and lives there under the identity of Gerrard from the intruder. So we are talking Gerrard. Guesses that he is a foolish, boastful man. It would not be difficult to get rid of. Now see. So from this conversation we can get to understand about the personality, about the character. So the Gerrard, the playwright was told by whom? The criminal. That he is a jewel robber. Okay, he is a robber and his specialty is the jewel robbery. He killed a policeman, and the policemen are running after him in order to nab him, in order to capture him. Now, in order to save himself, he wants to assume the identity or the personality of Gerrard, because there is a lot of similarity between them. And in order to do that, there cannot be two Gerrard, and therefore he will be killing original Gerrard, and then the intruder will be Gerrard, because he will be exploiting, or he will be taking the chance of the similarity of the appearance of both of them. Now from this discussion between Gerrard and the intruder, Gerrard, the intelligent playwright, understood that this person is a very boastful person. Okay, he is a very boastful person. He is a very proudy person. He is very proudy. Means he takes a lot of pride in his intellect or in his smartness. But in reality, he is a foolish person. Therefore, it will not be difficult to control or tackle the situation. Therefore, he is now planning, Gerrard is now planning to put him under control. So, let us see how he controls. Let us go for it. तो ये कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, स्टोरी विद इन द स्टोरी होता है. क्या होता है? स्टोरी विद इन द स्टोरी. ये जो स्टोरी अभी का स्टोरी है, ये मतलब क्या स्टोरी है? दिस इज द कॉन्कोक्टेड स्टोरी. मीन्स दिस इज अ फैब्रिकेटेड स्टोरी. ओके, दिस इज अ फैब्रिकेटेड स्टोरी. मीन्स दिस स्टोरी is simply made. This is not the authentic story. This is not the authentic. Authentic means this is not the genuine story. This is not the original story. Okay, this is not the original story. ये स्टोरी मतलब किस लिए बनाया गया है? In order to save his life. ये स्टोरी किस लिए बनाया गया है? In order to persuade, in order to make him understand. है ना? असल में क्या है ना? So he wanted to persuade, he wanted to convince him, he wanted to take him on his own way. तो अभी देखते हैं वो कैसे मतलब अपना रास्ता पे उसको लेके आते हैं. तो देखते हैं. Gerrard makes up a story. He says that he is also a criminal and a murderer. देखिए, Gerrard क्या मर्डरर है? Gerrard बिल्कुल मर्डरर नहीं है, वो तो प्लेरिट है. Sophisticated, refined person, a dramatist, a honorable, respectable person. लेकिन उसने अभी झूठ बोला. किस लिए बोला? In order to save his life. ये झूठ बोला किस लिए? उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए. किसको? इंट्रूडर. उसने बोला कि हम एक क्रिमिनल है ना, हम एक मर्डर भी किया है और पुलिस भी हमारा पीछे है. द पुलिस आर ऑल्सो इन सर्च ऑफ हिम. दैट इज व्हाई ही लिव्स इन अ मिस्टीरियस वे. तो अभी देखिए, हम जो अभी इधर वर्ल्ड ऑफ एसेक्स में अकेले जीवन बिता रहे हैं, इसका मतलब तो ये है कि कुछ तो है अंदर में. तो वो स्टोरी का अंदर का स्टोरी है कि हम एक आदमी को मर्डर किया था और पुलिस ने हमको ढूंढ रहे हैं. He often disappears from there. He tells the intruder that it would be a folly to kill him. तो इसीलिए उसको इंट्रूडर को बोला है कि अगर आप हमको बिना वजह मारेंगे तो आपका ये फुलिशनेस होगा. ओके, ये फुलिशनेस होगा. If he killed him, he would be hanged, if not as himself, then as Gerrard. तो अभी देखिए, अगर क्रिमिनल ने मतलब उनको मारा है, तो अगर उसको मतलब क्या है? If he avoids being hanged as killer of the cop or the police, then he may be killed, he may be hanged as Gerrard. The intruder begins to do the thing. Then the intruder was compelled to think. Okay, thinking and then acting. This is an opportunity for Gerrard. जब इंट्रूडर ने मतलब सोचना शुरू कर दिया, तब Gerrard ने बोला है कि हाँ, मेरा मेडिसिन अभी काम कर रहे हैं, तो अभी हम क्या करेंगे? उनको और कुछ बात बोलना है. तो क्या बोलते हैं? He offers to take the intruder to safe place in his car. तो अभी मतलब Gerrard ने बोला है कि भाई देखो, हम आपको मतलब अभी बचा सकते हैं. I can save you from the police in one way only. What is that? So there is a corridor. There is a corridor. There is door of the corridor also there. You just enter the corridor. The corridor will be leading you to the garage. And when you go to the garage, then there is my fashionable car. And when we board this car, board this car, board this car, then we can simply escape from the police. तो ये एक ऑफर दिया गया था. तो वो क्या हुआ? दिस इंट्रूडर वाज वेरी मच कन्विंस्ड. वो क्या हो गया? अभी वो कन्विंस्ड हो गया, है ना. कन्विंस्ड, लेकिन उसका थोड़ा मन में थोड़ा भी डाउट था, है ना। तो वो बोल रहे थे कि मतलब देखो भाई, अगर मतलब थोड़ा मतलब होशियारी ज्यादा किया तो देखो मेरा हाथ में क्या है ना, कभी भी मतलब क्या करेंगे हम, गोली मारेंगे, है ना। लेकिन क्या हुआ, as soon as he enters the corridor, which was not actually a corridor, which was a almirah, which was a box, and after that he was pushed back and then the door was slammed or shut. Then let us see. The intruder is taken in, that then Gerrard opens the door and asks the intruder to enter it. He tells him that the door goes to the garrison and they will escape in his car. That the intruder turns his head to step in. Gerrard pushes him and knocks the revolver out of his hand. अभी देखिए, तो he was almost 90% he was convinced. Who was convinced that the intruder was convinced that he is telling the truth, but he was 10% having doubt. He was having 10% doubt and therefore आप ज्यादा चालाकी मत करना, है ना। सो अगर चालाकी करेंगे तो हम गोली मार देंगे. Therefore, just when the intruder turns his head to step in, जैसे मतलब वो टर्न किया अंदर जाने का, गेरार्ड ने क्या किया, उसको धक्का लगाया और मतलब क्या किया, उसका जो हाथ में जो रिवॉल्वर था उसको मतलब नॉक किया, उसको फेंक दिया आउट ऑफ हिज हैंड. देन शट द डोर, वो डोर को मतलब क्या किया, जोर से मतलब धक्का लगा के उसको बंद कर दिया, शट कर दिया, क्लोज कर दिया. एंड लॉक इन, और उसका अंदर में तो कौन होगा, अभी वो इंट्रूडर होगा. इनफैक्ट द डोर डज नॉट लीड टू एनी गैरेज. सो ये तो स्टोरी था, है ना. ये स्टोरी मतलब किसके लिए था, उसको फंसाने के लिए था. इट इज द डोर ऑफ हिज कबोर्ड. ये डोर मतलब था उसका कबोर्ड. द इंट्रूडर शाउट फ्रॉम इनसाइड टू लेट हिम आउट. तो इंट्रूडर मतलब जब उसका कबोर्ड का अंदर मतलब चले गए, है ना, उधर कुछ बुक थे, उधर कुछ कपड़ा थे, वो देख के मतलब उसको वो एकदम नर्वस हो गया था, अरे हम तो मतलब ट्रैप हो गया, तो इसीलिए ही वाज हाउलिंग एंड शाउटिंग. ओके, ही वाज हाउलिंग एंड शाउटिंग. तो व्हाट वाज द हाउल, सो ही वाज हाउलिंग दैट I may be allowed to come out. But Gerrard picked up the phone once again and tells the police to come. In this way, Gerrard saved his life by a clever trick. So finally, what you see, so he was napped or he was seized. He was seized. He was caught by the police. He was caught. CAUGST. He was caught by the police. He was napped by the police. Napped by the police. So now let us see the important point of this lesson. Important point of this lesson, so that you can understand better after this. So we will be going to the characterization of Gerrard and the intruder. So let us recapitulate. So this is the review of the lesson, my dear children. So this is the kind of the quick review of the lesson. Quick review. REVIE. Quick review. तो हम देखते हैं क्विक रिव्यू. Gerrard, a playwright, lives alone in the lonely cottage of Essex. After talking to someone over the phone, he started packing his traveling bag. Because he is always a man running to and fro. Suddenly an intruder enters the cottage with a revolver in his hand. Gerrard smiles surprisingly. Gerrard was not at all disturbed. Gerrard was not disturbed. Okay. So initial impression was made. He was smiling at the intruder, and in this way he saved the situation. Let us see. Gerrard tries to be calm. Intruder wants to know some fact about his life. When Gerrard tries to be humorous while answering his question, he threatens to hurt him if he would not answer. Okay. So Gerrard actually wants to be very light and humorous while answering the question, then the intruder threatens him to hurt him if he doesn't answer properly. Gerrard tries to know his name, but he's too clever to tell it. Instead, he asks Gerrard's Christian name. So Gerrard is very intelligent, and therefore, when he asks his Christian name, his original name, then he doesn't tell it. Instead, what he does, on the contrary, he is asking the name of the intruder. The intruder inquires if he drives a car and the people who often visit him. So these are the information he wanted to take, whether he's driving a car or how many people visit him. Though intruder has collected a lot of information about Gerrard, still he wants to confirm the fact. So in the meantime, the intruder, who wanted to assume the character of Gerrard, gathered a lot of information about Gerrard. Yet he was asking the question face to face in order to confirm the fact, in order to assure the fact, in order to assure the fact, in order to prove the fact, Gerrard tells him that only a few people, the baker, the greengrocer, and the quite charming milkman visit him. So he was telling that the visitors, the frequent visitor in his place, are no other people than the greengrocer, means the vegetable seller. So sometimes there will be the people from the bakery, and sometimes there will be the milkman who will be visiting him. Again, Gerrard, in a very tricky way, tries to know about him. Intruder asks him not to be smart. He has special motive and he would surprise him. Gerrard asks him what particular line of crime he embraces, and the intruder tells that his specialty is jewel robbery. So then Gerrard was telling what is his specialty. Suppose you are the doctor, then you will have the specialty. Like you may be the specialty in the field of skin, then you will be called dermatologist. So you may be the specialty of the eye, will be called ophthalmologist. So in the similar manner, Gerrard was asking the question, what is the particular line of the specialty? What is the line of the specialty? Then he was telling that jewel robbery is my specialty. During conversation, Gerrard says that there are few jewels to rob into the Essex forest. In the world of forest, into the world of Essex. Intruder says that cops are also few, so he can comfortably relax. अभी ये देखते हैं, यह आइडिया हम समझ लेते हैं. तो गैरड ने ऐसा बोला कि सो आपका जो लाइन ऑफ क्राइम ज्वेल रॉबरी है. So when you are a jewel robber, then there is hardly any jewel here, because there is no people here in this particular world of Essex. So that means your purpose will not be fulfilled. Then the intruder, in an intelligent manner, he told that there are less number of cops also, and I am trying to escape or dodge, D-O-D-G-E, dodge from the cops. Therefore, this will be a comfortable stay for me. Then let us see what follows. Gerrard amusingly tells him that he was not invited to live with him. Intruder says that this big surprise is that he is not going to live long with him, but he is going to kill him very soon. Let us see now. When Gerrard asks in a humorous manner, in a amusing manner, in a funny manner, asks him that you are not invited to live with me as a roommate or housemate, then how can you live here? Then he was telling that no, you will not be living here for a long time because I am going to kill you. Intruder sarcastically tells him that he is sorry to kill him, but he has to, as he is wanted in a murder and police is behind him if he kills Gerrard, he cannot be hunted twice for double murder. Now that the intruder told that yes, I have a purpose for everything. So when I came here to murder you and to assume you your responsibility, your personality, the purpose is that I may not be killed twice. Once for the killing the cop and other for killing the playwright. Therefore I am here to save myself. To save myself. He told it in an ironical manner. Let us see it once again. The intruder sarcastically tells him that he is sorry to kill him. हम ये आपको बोलते हुए अफसोस है कि हम आपको मारना होगा. But he has to. लेकिन हमारा ये मजबूरी है क्योंकि as he is wanted in a murder. क्योंकि ये हमारा मजबूरी है कि पुलिस is searching for me. हमको भी बचाना है. Therefore I am killing you. I'm killing you. And the police is behind me. And if he kills Gerrard, he cannot be hanged twice for double murder. So the logic behind killing Gerrard is that they or the police cannot give him the double punishment or double hanging for the murder of Gerrard. After killing Gerrard, he will take on his identity and live comfortably. He has learned Gerrard's style of clothing and he will dress up like him with the Gerrard's clothes. Now, all the kind of the preparation were taken. So the initial preparation was that the way of the talking of Gerrard. That was already imitated, already followed, and now he will be following, he will be imitating the way he dresses up so that he can perfectly become Gerrard. After listening all this, Gerrard says to the intruder that he cannot kill him. Instead, he will let him go and thank God for not killing him earlier. ये देखिए अभी गैरेट ने कैसे मतलब ये सिचुएशन को कंट्रोल किया. वो एकदम पूरा ध्यान से ये स्टोरी सुन रहे थे. किसका स्टोरी? द स्टोरी ऑफ द इंट्रूडर. और सुनने के बाद मतलब उसने क्या बोला? उसने बोला कि सेज दैट he cannot kill him in street. He will let him go and thank God for not killing him earlier. तो उसने बोला कि ना आप हमको जाने देंगे और आप भगवान को ये मतलब क्या करेंगे, आप शुक्रिया करेंगे कि आपने हमको जल्दी नहीं मारा, हम जल्दी जाने दिया. What is the reason? Now the intruder is eager to know the reason and unintentionally tells Gerrard that he was doing a job in the town. Things went wrong and he killed a cop. Now, without any intention, without any purpose, because of the pressure of the situation, the intruder was compelled to tell the story to Gerrard. So he was telling that he was actually doing a job in the town. Things went wrong with him and he killed a cop. Something went wrong with him and he killed the cop. Since then he has been dodging. He is simply dodging means he is simply avoiding. Avoiding किसको है? Avoiding the cop or the police. Cop or the police. Intruder further tells that he has come to the Alisbury where he saw and listened to his conversation with the two people. So Alisbury is just near Sussex. So in Alisbury he was talking. Who was talking? Gerrard was talking to somebody, and from there the intruder imitated his way of talking from behind. Let us see now. Let us continue. So in this way, my dear children, so the initial quick review of the lesson. I suppose you understood the lesson very well with the summary and the review and analysis of the setting, the title, the theme, and also the background of the lesson. Now it is our time to go for the character analysis of the two important characters, and then we'll be discussing only one or two extract based questions, then our lesson explanation will be complete in all respect. Only one thing that you will have to do is that, so you will have to do the exercise question and answer, whether it is a grammar based question or text based question, everything you will have to do to become very perfect. Now let us go for the character analysis. So first let us go to the intruder. So character analysis, the sketch of the character. First we will be talking about our intruder. So we have already learned what is an intruder. Intruder is a particular person who comes or enters in a particular area without any permission. Intruder is a criminal on the run. He is the running man. His specialty is a jewelry robbery. The police is on the lookout for him, so he is looking for a safe place to hide. The range scoundrel make an intriguing plan to dodge the police. Cold-blooded as he is, he has hatched a crafty plan to achieve his aim. He plans to kill Gerrard and steal his identity. He is smart, has chosen Gerrard as he realizes he is a bit of Mr. Man, a recluse. A recluse means a type of saint, okay? A person who lives in an isolation, okay? Recluse. And that they are somewhat alike in look. So another opportunity for him is that their look or their appearance also is the same. He decided to use this fact to his advantage. Let us see now the next point. The intruder is a criminal. The intruder is a criminal who has been eluding to the police ever since he killed the cop. So as you know, he was doing a job in the town. Something went wrong and then he killed the police. After that, the police is hunting him. The police is searching for him and he is on the run. He has no sense of remorse for the crime he has committed. So he is not any sense of regret. Okay? उसका कोई पछतावा नहीं है. Means there is no sense of regret or there is no sense of repentance in his mind as to the killing or committing the murder. In fact, he is further sinking into the mire of criminal activity by killing Gerrard and stealing his identity. So now he is not having any kind of remorse or regret for killing the cop, and he is again planning to kill another person and assume their identity so that he will be safe. The intruder is a burglar. Burglar means if somebody enters your house, particularly a thief. When a thief enters your house, okay, not through the door, but some other way, making hole under the ground, then he is called the burglar. So he's a burglar. This is a problem because he's edgy and agitated. He enters the Gerrard's cottage silently, but accidentally bangs against the table. This alerts Gerrard to his presence. He thus is not able to take him by surprise. In the end, too, he goes to the inspector what is actually a cupboard, but which Gerrard claims is the garage and is trapped. So you have already learned how he was trapped just by telling a fabricated story, a concocted story by our intelligent Gerrard. The intruder copy is the American way of speaking. Okay, ये इसको मतलब वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग को क्या बोलते हैं? इन्फ्लेक्शन बोलते हैं. इन्फ्लेक्शन. तो इसका और मतलब क्या बोलते हैं? इसको एक्सेंट बोलते हैं. ACCENT एक्सेंट. उनका जो एक्सेंट था वो एक्सेंट क्या था? अमेरिकन एक्सेंट था. अमेरिकन एक्सेंट और जो ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट थे वो थोड़ा अलग है. सपोजिंग SCHEDULE, इसका जो प्रोनाउंसिएशन अमेरिकन में ये प्रोनाउंसिएशन होगा स्केड्यूल, और इसका जो ब्रिटिश में प्रोनाउंसिएशन होगा, ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश में इसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन होगा शेड्यूल मींस टाइम टेबल. Therefore we are following the British. Now Our intruder copies the American way of speaking or the American accent or the inflection put the suppose off and amused Gerrard to ask him, are you American or is that merely clever imitation? Now, Gerrard, the intelligent person, asked the intruder whether are you really an American or you are simply imitating the American way of speaking. This shows he either watches a lot of Hollywood film or reads crime novel. So the way he could imitate the American way of speaking, from there we can understand that he watches a lot of Hollywood movies or films, or he reads a lot of crime or detective novels. Let us go for our hero, that is Gerrard. Let us go for Gerrard now. Gerrard is the protagonist of If I Were You is portrayed as a man of many virtues. He is endowed with brilliant wit, sharp mind, smart thinking, and a sense of humor. ये सारे जो क्वालिटी है ना, बहुत impressive quality है, very magnetic quality है. इसको मतलब जो he is endowed means he is decorated. He is decorated with what? All this beautiful and sterling quality. Sterling means very gorgeous and impressive qualities, and they are wit. Wit means what? Intellect. Wit means what? Intellect. INTELLECT. Intellect or intelligence. उसका एप्लीकेशन होने के बाद वो विजडम हो जाते हैं. ये शार्प माइंड, उनका माइंड जो था ना, मतलब नॉट ब्लंट, है ना, BLUNT, blunt, but very sharp, just like the sharp weapon. His thinking was very smart thinking. Okay, his thinking was also very smart thinking, and more particularly, he was also humorous. He can understand that a particular situation, and then he can make the humor or make people smile or laugh. All this quality combined with his ability to keep a cool head enabled him to handle a life-threatening situation very successfully and easily. तो ये जो जितना quality है, this is quality of smartness, the quality of sharpness of the mind, the quality of the intellect, and the quality of the humor. All these help him or enable him to handle the particular life-threatening, life-challenging situation very successfully and nab the intruder and put him behind the bars. Let us see the next. Gerrard is associated with the theater. He is a playwright or the dramatist who also acts and provides the props for plays. He is not very social, lives in a lonely cottage in the wilds of sex, gives his order on the phone and never meets with the tradesman. This is probably because he likes his solitude while writing. So this is the profession of Gerrard. So he was a playwright or dramatist, and he helped or supported in writing plays and acting plays. He is a not so sociable person, not a sociable person. He lives in the lonely cottage. The purpose is that he can write without any disturbance into the solitude or the loneliness. A refined and cultured man, Gerrard keeps his cool even in the midst of the difficult situation. The sight of an intruder does not ruffle him, and he talks to him very courteously and pleasantly. Now see, this is something uncommon. So Gerrard did not lose his cool, and he managed the situation so beautifully. Did not ruffle, means he was not at all disturbed after seeing the intruder, and his sense of humor irritated the intruder. When a time he calls the situation melodramatic and calls himself a sympathetic audience. So he tells that at least when you wanted to learn about me, I found a sympathetic audience in you. Therefore, these are very humorous way of talking, and he tells that the way many times you behave are sensational or melodramatic. Let us see the next now. Even when he is confronted with a life-threatening situation, Gerrard retains the presence of mind and lays a trap for the intruder. Now see, in this challenging situation also, his action plan was continuous. He was planning to do. He was planning to control the intruder. He handled the situation with the intruder very cleverly. He convinced the intruder that he too is a criminal on the run and they can both escape together. So it was his persuasive quality. Okay, इसका मतलब क्या है? persuasive quality है. ये persuasive मतलब convincing quality है. Convincing quality के कारण so he could convince the intruder that he is also a criminal and he is also on the run, and both of them can escape the police just by going through this corridor. The corridor will be leading to the garage, and into the garage there is the dandy car, and into the car they can escape the police. Everything comes so natural and spontaneously to him that the intruder walks into his trap. So when he was talking, when he was telling his story, he was very much natural and spontaneous. There was no artificiality in it, and therefore the intruder was fully convinced in the story, and then he was trapped. Gerrard intelligence not only outwitted the intruder and saves his own life, but also helped the police in nabbing a wanted criminal. Therefore, this intelligence many a time helped the police also. This intelligence not only helped his own life, it also helped the police to nab or to seize or to catch the criminal. In fact, Gerrard with his unagitated, composed manner served as a foil to the villainous intruder who is edgy and agitated. So we can see the contrast into the character between Gerrard and intruder. Gerrard is unagitated or very much a cool or composed man. He is not at all ruffled or disturbed in the midst of the life-changing situation. Also, now the villain, the intruder, become a foil. Means compared to him, he became a failure because he is very edgy and agitated. Now we'll be going to one or two extract question. Let us see now, so that you can get the hint of how to answer the question. Let us see the question. If I were you, question and answer, very short type. It is extract based question. At last, a sympathetic audience. Who says this? Why does he say it? Is it sarcastic or serious? अभी देखते हैं ये इधर. So in this particular play, we come to understand that there is use of the irony. There is use of the irony. At last, a sympathetic audience. So it is the humorical way. It is the ironical way. It is the ironical way that the playwright told to the intruder. Therefore, the speaker is Gerrard. Who says it? Answer is Gerrard. Why does he say it? Gerrard says this because he is glad that finally someone has asked him to speak about himself. So he told that nobody asked about his biography or nobody asked about his life. At least in my life at this particular moment, somebody is there who is very much sympathetic to listen to the story of my life. So he told it in an ironical manner. Is he serious or sarcastic? Answer is he is sarcastic because there is a use of irony. Therefore, here in this lesson, there is a lot of use of the irony, and the irony means what one's tell that the opposite is mean. Therefore, by the use of the irony and the sarcasm, the writer wants to have its effect and also have its purpose of nabbing the culprit, that is the intruder. My dear children, I suppose you understood the lesson in full. Therefore, let us conclude the lesson. Hope you understood well. Hope to meet you again in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a very good day.